After the last couple of videos, the one about work-life balance and the other video about how to choose your career, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to talk about my journey into entrepreneurship. So it all started a couple years back. There was a point in my life where for about 14 months I was unable to work for circumstances outside of my control. So that whole story is a video on its own, but for those 14 months I couldn't work. And I remember telling myself I never want to let something outside of me control my income. But I want to take it back about a decade when I was in like grade 4. Me and the person sitting beside me, Stefan, if you're watching this and you remember Mr. Utley's class, we created these little cards, right? And we gave them out to everybody in the class, and they could come to us and rent like books, pencils, erasers, whatever they needed. All they had to do was just give us this card, they'd get an item, and when they bring back that item, they get their card back. And it was an amazing experience. We had an amazing time doing it until the teacher had to shut it down because it was just getting way too wild. So when that 14 months period was over and I was able to start applying for jobs again, I went hard at it because I remember one piece of advice someone gave to me was, when you're looking for a job, you should make that your full-time job, right? You should spend 8 hours a day just strictly applying for jobs, improving your skills, whatever is needed, to get the said job that you're looking for. So I was going hard at it, right? And I wasn't feeling it. It really affected my mood negatively. And I remember thinking, this is such a waste of my time. In my mind, I've always told myself I'm just gonna work for a couple of years and I'm gonna go do my own thing. But I had to burn all ships, right? So I told my family that I don't want any monetary support. I'm still grateful for all their support. They still put a roof over my head and food on the table, right? So I'm very grateful for all of that. But during that period, I had to figure out ways to make money myself. I remember at the beginning, and I used to be ashamed of this, right? I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't want anybody finding out. But I used to help my friend with his moving business. Yeah, literally like moving furniture, people moving out of their houses into houses or into apartments. And I was ashamed. I really was. I didn't want anybody finding out. But man, looking back now, I'm proud of myself. Like, damn, you did all that. You went after it that hard, right? Like, I can't believe I even did that. I could have said I'm gonna just go work a job and do my own thing while I started. And I feel like if I took that software job, I never would have pursued the entrepreneurial route, right? I would have just gotten too comfortable. And I had a great time moving, right? Like the person I was working with, we would brainstorm. He was an entrepreneur himself, and we bounced ideas off each other, and I owe a lot of it to him as well. I was moving 8 hours a day, 3 to 4 days a week, and I'd get home, I'd do all my work on my computer, and on the other 1 or 2 days, I'll go out business to business, door to door, trying to get clients. I got so many no's. Like, I remember just sitting in my car at times and just getting depressed and asking myself, why am I doing this? Hold on, let me get all these cards. Look at all these cards. I was going business to business, right? I was going trying to network as much as possible. And these are just a handful of the cards I've gotten over the times, right? Not even all of them are in there because, not everybody gave me a card. Some of them just shut me down right away, right? They would just completely ignore me. I remember the one guy literally walked away from me as I was speaking to him. But, all these no's here, all the no's that are in here, they taught me something that led me to a yes. Yeah, because I've done my fair share of reading on books, right? That teach you how to communicate and sell and whatnot. But none of those books taught me as much as these cards here, from going out and actually doing and actually communicating with these people. So whatever you're trying to start, whatever you're trying to do, and anything in life in general, never fear rejection, because that's how you learn and that's how you adapt and you grow. Now, if somebody tells me no, it doesn't hurt me at all, because I know there's one of two reasons they said no. First is my service or my product I'm offering them legitimately is not fit for them. There's nothing wrong with me. And second, it's their loss, right? I know my value and I know what I can provide, and it's their loss if they don't purchase, right? Because I truly believe in the value I can bring to the table, or else I wouldn't be out there chasing all these people and going after all of this. And failure is inevitable, right? Like, this is not my first rodeo. I've had a couple other failures, but they never brought me down. They all taught me something. And I can't even say what I'm doing right now is a success because I don't believe I've made it yet. I can't even give you advice. I can only share with you my journey so far because As my grandpa always told me, in life you have the first 20, actually doesn't even consider the first 20 years of school anything. He's got his own views on the schooling system. But anyway, the first 20 years after school, you should spend it learning and crafting your skill. And then the second 20 years of your life, so from 40 to 60, you should build up that foundation on what you've learned in your first 20 years. And then your last 20 years is you just enjoy and reap what you've built. So I'm definitely still in that first 20 years phase, right? So I can't really teach anything yet. There's a lot of people out there, I'm sure you see all the ads about people selling courses on things that they might have gotten lucky on, or they haven't even done, they just read up about it. And maybe even in 20 years I still won't be able to give you advice, because I truly believe until I can repeat what I've done, then I have no right teaching or giving advice about how to do it. Because I could have gotten lucky, it could have just been the right time, right place, right? So unless you can repeat it, then you can't teach it. Let me tell you, at least once a week I find myself asking, why am I doing this? Entrepreneurship isn't easy, so if it's what you want, if it's what you need, then nothing's standing in your way. As Les Brown would say, go after it as if your life depends on it. Why? Because it does. And there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but if entrepreneurship runs in your blood, then burn all ships and go for it. Alright, so if you want more of these videos, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button, and let me know in the comments below if you want me to expand on any of the topics that I talked about in this video.